What is going on, everybody? Today's video is going to be a quick little project replacing these rubber subframe mounts with some solid aluminum ones by making them ourselves on our little mini lathe. Alright guys, so as you can see, the stock subframe mounts are rubber, and if I put this pry bar in it, or I'm sorry, extension, I'm not sure if that's gonna like show up, but you can see how much play is in it. You know, for a stock car, when you really want to limit, you know, the NVH going through the car, you know, rubber bushings are great. For a race car, not so much. So what we're going to do is turn them into solid aluminum bushings with this giant chunk of aluminum I have right here. And we're going to do it all on our little Harbor Freight mini lathe. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is kind of scribe our line where we want to, you know, lop off our, I'll call them like pucks, I guess. So we're just gonna end up, we ultimately need 8. I kind of did 1 as a test, so we're gonna cut off 6 slices and then just kind of do all of our operations on here. Alright guys, so here's all 6 pucks, rough cut. They're still hot, but yeah, so taking these are kind of pushing what this little mini lathe can do. Doing the 2 that are already in it right there. I definitely get some chatter if I try and get a little too aggressive with it. So it's kind of just like a little bit slow and steady. But, you know, was able to get those ones where they, you know, kind of had to press them in. You'll see that later. But yeah, so we're just going to kind of start turning these down. Machining is not my strong suit, so you know, if my order of operations seems a little bit weird, it's because honestly I don't know any better. Composites, on the other hand, it's like, you know, I know every single step down to a T to the finished product. Where these, you know, you obviously chuck it up, you face it, but like from there, do you drill first or do you kind of cut it down to diameter first? Whatever. I can't really see it making too much of a difference. But anyway, so we're just going to kind of knock out all 6 of these and then get them pressed in. Alright guys, so here's the one. I did it by itself just for time-lapse reasons on the video. But when I do the rest of them, kind of like when I set up the drill, I'll just drill all of them because I can swap the pucks out faster than like the drill bits and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to knock out the other 5. Then we'll hop on pressing out the old rubber bushings and kind of get these pressed in. Alright, so here's the last 6 that we need. Remember, 2 are already in. So what we're going to do now is take out all the old rubber bushings. You can see all the dust left over from this one. What I found to work out is to use a Sawzall with like a, I guess like a wood blade or like a coarse blade on it. Kind of just like cut around the rubber bit, and then you'll see this section will kind of fall out. Then with a metal blade, let's see, got the original one here, with a metal blade kind of cut like a slot in it, and then kind of with an air chisel it out. It seems a little bit involved, and I have you can see it right here, this ball joint press. I'll put a link to that ball joint press in the video description below. It's great for pressing in the aluminum ones, you know, obviously ball joint, stuff like that, but it's not quite big enough to put a cup on the bottom of it to press out the other one. Plus you need something like very perfectly sized, so you know, the Sawzall and air chisel technique kind of works for now. Alright guys, so this one's in. Under time lapse, it went in like a little bit crooked. I cut them pretty tight press fit, maybe a little bit too tight because it was a little bit rough going in. But this is a 5/8 hole. Here's just my test 5/8 bolt. So there you go. So we're gonna have 4, you know, high grade 5/8 bolts holding it on. Plus probably do something from that front to the original control arm mounting point as an extra brace or something. So yeah, I'm gonna do the other 2, and then once they're in, I kind of needed to knock this out before I like really slide it underneath and finalize the location, and then figure out whatever brackets I kind of need to make to mount the subframe to my car. Alright guys, so I'm getting ready to do the last one, and I did this technique on that one. Where all I did was, these are so close to fitting, and this hole, either when they like weld this at the factory, it gets out around by a few thousandths, so that's kind of why. But you can see how we're pretty close. But I did this on the other one. Alright, and it's in, you know, so it's a what's it called, a friction fit, but I cut them, you know, pretty close to what they need to be, where you gotta kind of hit them in, but not like really like wail on them. I'll just hit the other one, or third option, you know, all we're doing is putting in solid bushings, but you got a couple options, is run a bolt through it, and then just like as you tighten down the nut, it would just squeeze the 2 together as well. So, you know, got a couple options there to kind of get these things in. So yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, gonna put that last one in, and then I get to roll this thing back under the car and get it into its final position. So alright guys, that's about it for the solid subframe bushings. You know, kind of cool that I just made them from like a scrap chunk on my little tiny mini lathe. There are companies that make these. At the time of me recording this, somewhere around the $250 range. So honestly not too bad. But since I had the scrap, made a little project out of it. In the next video, what we're going to end up doing, now that we got all the bushings in, we're going to finally roll it underneath of the car, get it in its final resting place, and kind of make whatever brackets we need to get it mounted to my chassis. So please hit that subscribe button so you can kind of keep up to date with that if you're interested in that thing. Please give this video a thumbs up as well, it really helps us out. As always guys, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.